Hey everybody, my name is Kevin Pierce. I'm also known as Coach Grandpa, and I'm 58 years old who suffers from congestive heart failure. And I just want to give you a short story about my heart journey. Back in 2017, all of this was caught from a simple eye appointment. Yes, an eye appointment. My ophthalmologist was doing an examination, and she just asked a simple question: Do you get much sleep? I was like, actually, no, I don't. And she said, from looking at your blood vessels, it look like you could be severely suffering from sleep apnea. So I call my primary doctor, who sets me up with a sleep study, and go, lo and behold, I had sleep apnea. Get the machine looking like a fighter pilot for a while. Every time I'm able to breathe at night as I'm laying flat. But as I'm working throughout the day, I'm getting real sluggish. It was to the point where I could be walking like maybe 30 feet and feel like I've been walking for 3 miles. Go see the doctor again, and refers me to a cardiologist who pretty much states, you have congestive heart failure. We gonna need to get you at least a pacemaker. So pacemakers implanted in 2017. Everything's going good for the next 2 years after that. I'm feeling good, able to walk around, no problems, on a treadmill, having fun, breathing well, in the pool, having a great time, doing great. 2 years later, those same symptoms start to come back again. Walking slow, feeling sluggish, sleepy half the time, and they found out I need to get another pacemaker with more leads in it. The first pacemaker I had only had one wire. This one had three. Everything was going good in 2019, and then all of a sudden, the doors kind of fell apart. I really started. I had a hard time trying to get rid of water weight. I'm retaining water like crazy. I'm always going to the doctor or to the ER and to get water taken out of my system. One time they gave me a diuretic, and I ended up getting rid of 10 liters of liquid around my heart. And that's when the ER doctor said, yeah, you need to talk to your cardiologist because it may end up needing heart surgery. So I go see the cardiologist, who refers me to one of his students that he taught, that's working up here at Cedars. We come up to Cedars and they do a little quick test on me through the MCS team, and lo and behold, it's confirmed congestive heart failure, but it was quite severe. To sit down with me and my wife, the doctor had stated, if we don't get this resolved, you may not survive the next 2 months. Now, mind you, this floored both me and my wife as we're sitting there kind of numb. But me, the type of person I am, I didn't bat an eye. I'm like, okay, so what's next? What do we do? And he's talked about, well, first, you're too heavy for a heart transplant, so you need to lose weight. But in the meantime, we do have this other procedure that we can do that can prolong it to where you can lose weight and get on a heart transplant. It's called an LVAD. Now, me and my wife never heard of this term before, LVAD. And I'm like, what the heck is that? He said, well, it's a left ventricular assist device. And the way he was explaining it, how it's connected to your left ventricle, feeds blood from there into your aorta. Aorta goes to the rest of your body. And I was like, okay, fine. He said, well, the problem is your left ventricle. Well, the average human pumps roughly 50 to 75% of their blood. Mine was at 5%, which was dire. And this was a clear indication of now I know why I really couldn't get much done. The doctor set me up for a battery of tests, and they ended up getting a surgery date. And I finally ended up getting the surgery in April of 2021. Surgery was successful. Lasted roughly about 4.5, 5 hours. Recovered very well. Felt great. No issues. But it was just weird carrying this extra device inside the body and outside the body, along with, the batteries and the cords and everything else you had to deal with. Um, it was interesting when I went to cardiac rehab, having both a pacemaker and an LVAD, and I'm third month in, jogging on the treadmill. Everything's feeling good, getting a good sweat on. I'm feeling great, and everybody that's in this rehab, cardiac rehab, has a monitor on, so they can just make sure everybody's doing okay to wherever you are in that building. And lo and behold, one of the nurses was coming up to me as I'm on the treadmill in a hurried pace, carrying a chair, and I'm kind of looking off to the side, like, okay, who is he going to go attend to? And he comes up to me saying, "Mr. Pierce, are you feeling great?" And I'm like, "Yeah, feeling fine. What's wrong?" But I'm telling myself, okay, they must see something I don't know about. He said, "Yeah, we need you to sit down for a minute." I said, "Okay, fine." I go sit down and I sit up, and my whole vision went snow white. I couldn't see a thing. And I'm like, "Whoa, what the heck is going on here?" And he said, "Yeah, look like you're having an issue going on here right now." And I'm like, "Dude, I was just feeling good." And all of a sudden, boom, I got shocked by my pacemaker. Now, I had always asked my cardiologist, will I ever know when this thing kicks in? And all I remember him clearly saying was like, "Yeah, you will know." And that thing hit me 5 times. Thank God they had it set at 5 times. It's hit me, nothing more than that. But I'm also thankful I had the LVAD, because had I not had the LVAD, I would not be here today. The LVAD was just purring like a kitten, just going and going and going and going and going. The whole problem, we found out that the LVAD was set at one setting and my pacemaker was set at another. 160, 220, way gonna match up. So, with that being said, they finally got it all lined up. They got both of them synced, and I've been great ever since. Until last year, when I had a bad infection that happened as far as with my LVAD, Pseudomonas. And those who have LVADs kind of know about it. Yeah, this thing can be real bad. And once you get Pseudomonas, chances are you will get it repeatedly. And this is my fourth time having it. They've done a lot of surgeries on this, clearing out the infection. Um, it's been scary at times, especially this last one where the infection got so bad it formed like this big, huge, gigantic pimple in the center of my chest. And I called the doctor, and they had me come on up so I get checked out, and they checked me into surgery the next day, where moments into the surgery, everything went south. I had mass bleeding going on. The doctors had to clear everything out and slow down the bleeding, but the only way he could do that was to stick his finger in the hole of where the infection had burned a hole into the graft of the LVAD. I had lost roughly 6 to 8 liters of blood, 6 to 8 units of blood, where I coded for 2.5 minutes. So they performed CPR on me for a while. Now, to mind you, the surgeon is not only trying to stop the bleeding, but he's worried about my brain going without oxygen for 2.5 minutes. Well, as you see, I'm doing great. Everything turned out fine, and there's been no issues since then. But right before the surgery, I was upgraded from status 3 to status 2 on the heart transplant list. So it's been, they say the wait time, it went from months to years to days to weeks, which is open to interpretation, because as of right now, this is day 31, week number 4. So who knows when I'm going to get the call, but they feel that it's too risky for me to go home. If I have another episode again, I may not be able to make it to a hospital. So I will be taking my residence up here in Cedars until I get a phone call that I have a offer for a heart. The biggest adjustment for me since all of this has happened, especially being in here now, is learning how to live in a hospital. There's no playbook on that. I'm pretty much creating my own SOP on how to make that happen. And it's not only for me to keep my mind sharp and keep me busy throughout the day, but I figure I want to share that information with others with LVADs who will eventually go through this type of process and kind of give them the blueprint on how I did it, and maybe give them some tips and some ideas on how to do it and add their own flavor to it, and uh, yeah, make them successful as well getting through it. Um, a lot of patients that I've spoken with, uh, and a lot of the caretakers as well, um, are asking me, how do I get through this? It's not the greatest um, task in the world to pull off, but they say you just have to be patient. Just have to be patient. So I'm doing everything I can to keep my mind right with a bunch of reading, playing jazz, staying active, still doing exercises in here and so forth. But yeah, my journey continues on this bridge to a transplant. So that's where I am at this moment. So praying for all of you guys who are going to see this, not only just for you, but your caretakers as well and your entire family. And yeah, we will get through this. You know, I'm not the type of person that's like, oh, why is this happening to me, and why is this always going? I'm not wired that way. Don't give it any energy. I don't give it power. Not gonna happen. Um, can you be sad at times? Absolutely. Can you get upset? Yes. Get on your soapbox. Say what you got to say. Get off and keep pushing. Um, that's the way I am. So thank you guys for listening to me. Hopefully this kind of helps others who are going to be seeing this as well. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Deuces.